988% gains. Let's get into it. So Chris, we are talking about one of those hidden little gems of ours, and this one's been kind of flying a little bit low on the radar, although we've been invested in it for a while. And I think a lot of people have potentially been overlooking the serious potential that sits here with this project. So as we get into this, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit around the gains that we've seen so far and how many gains we still think are on the table. And to tell you something, they're juicy gains. So if you find this video useful and informative, do go ahead and hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with all of these new hidden gems and cryptocurrencies, then do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free and you're going to stay well informed. So why not? And with this being said, Chris, is there anything else you'd like to add before we jump down to the desktop and start talking about this project?
Yeah, just a couple of things. So the first thing, just to nip it in the bud before anybody says anything like, why didn't we talk about it before we saw these gains? Well, we did. So just nip that one in there nice and early. And yeah, let us know what you think Singularity Net price will be 2021 at the peak of the bull run. Let us know. We're interested to get your views and opinions.
Right, let's get into it. So as Chris did just allude to there, it is the AGI token. The Singularity Net is the project we're talking about. And it's an interesting one. Obviously, Singularity Net does a lot in terms of artificial intelligence and specifically around the artificial general intelligence. They do a lot with Hanson Robotics and building those robotic, AI humanoids, I guess. And, Sophia is world famous for working within the healthcare sector, and she also has a little sister now as well. So the fantastic things are happening in that space around, artificial intelligence and robotics, but it doesn't end there either. Singularity Net's mission to make a decentralized artificial intelligence marketplace where all of these AI algorithms are actually, decentralized and not hodled by these large corporations. And this is one of the main driving factors behind the Singularity Net Phase 2, which was about creating an extra billion tokens to help fund this marketplace. Ultimately, the large corporations are moving faster than Singularity Net can keep up in terms of the AI, and we need to flip that around. So it was fantastic to see that Phase 2 and the vote that was put out to the token holders was passed at a really high rate. Only a few people opposed it. And ultimately, those billion tokens, those ADA version tokens, the Cardano tokens, they will be minted over a period of time. They're not going to be distributed all at once. So things are not as bad as they seem there either. So the price is going to hold up for quite some time. And at the point of recording this video, I know we mentioned it yesterday on the live stream, Chris, we had a 15% bump in the price today. But above and beyond that, the market cap is still incredibly low. As I said in the intro to this video, we've seen 988% gains so far since we got in, and we did get in late. We could have been in so much earlier. And it was one of the biggest regrets that we had here is we had a very, very tiny position. We've been building it slowly and costing our way back in, and I'm still buying this thing now. Honestly, this project is long-term, but also if you're just thinking this year, there's significant gains on the table. So not financial advice, but my opinion here and what I am doing personally is I am buying the AGI token. And the second that those new ADA versions are created, I am switching my Ethereum tokens over to the ADA tokens to take advantage of those lower fees. And it's going to be a 1-to-1 ratio minus the fees in Ethereum for doing the transfer, I'd imagine. It's going to be, a very smart move, I feel. And those ADA tokens are going to be in high demand. So I think ultimately, Chris, if we just start talking a little bit around why we're so bullish on this project, obviously there's fantastic actual use cases here around artificial intelligence that becomes decentralized in that marketplace. And that is huge because artificial intelligence that's decentralized will have access to more data to learn more faster. So it's going to be a bit of a snowball effect once that happens. And these algorithms will be there for everyone to use. You can just pay to use the algorithm. It's going to be fantastic. And above and beyond that, you obviously have all of the work going on with Hanson Robotics, with the healthcare sector, all of that kind of stuff in the world as well. I think that the fundamental use cases are fantastic. But let's just take a look at the technical stuff here around just the price aspect of the AGI token. It is crucial to the ecosystem, and you do have to pay with the AGI token within their ecosystem. And we did see in the last bull run a phenomenal high, which came in at $1.86, I believe it was, Chris. Let me just pull that down a little bit there. 86 cents, so around that zone there. Obviously, in Binance, they don't have the high, but you can check out the high on CoinGecko, etc. So it had significantly risen in value and had come down quite nicely here for accumulation period. So if we start looking at that former high level, we aren't even there yet. So it's got significant growth still to go. And that growth does represent a kind of range of 2,000% on the table still. So this thing's really only just starting. Obviously, we could have been super early here and got in quite nicely at this point. But nonetheless, we are slightly late to party. I've put it here to kind of average my price in. And we've seen approximately 988 with an additional 2,000 still on the table. So we think about how high this thing might go. Well, if we actually pull this back down and we scroll right up to the top here, we can see this thing has the potential to go well over that $7.50 range. So lots of room to grow on the AGI token here. So lots of potential still in the tank. But more importantly, I think there's some fantastic things that are happening at that fundamental level outside of the technical stuff, but will also help drive the price. Things such as leaving Ethereum and making that strategic decision to move from Ethereum over to Cardano. And that is because, quote unquote, from Dr. Ben Goertzel's words here, they are that it is just a technically superior platform. Ethereum just cannot deal with what AGI plans to do in the future, and therefore they need to go and move over. And it's an interesting concept because the things that they are talking about, what Dr. Ben is talking about specifically with that marketplace, it just is struggling to get that off the ground on the Ethereum chain. So moving over to Cardano, the vision there, with the help of Charles Hoskinson, CEO of IOG, the Cardano system is going to help push all of that further forward. And obviously, Cardano, having the AI integrated into Cardano is also a key thing. Obviously, Wolfram Alpha for the oracles, AGI for the artificial intelligence. I mean, Cardano is getting a bit of a full rounder. So you can see why it's a good move for Cardano, but you can also see why it's an incredibly good move for SingularityNet. And SingularityNet, I believe it's going to be an absolute beast in the future. It might not be that 2021 is its final year. We've spoken a lot about, Chris, in the past about how the AGI token should be valued significantly higher during the 2025-2030 range. And that's because in those years, we see a lot of roadmaps talking about how blockchain is going to be more adopted, it's going to be more mainstream, and by 2030, that's a more mature market. And obviously, when it comes to artificial intelligence, there's a lot of people who do not fully understand what artificial intelligence is, let alone artificial general intelligence or machine learning and all that kind of good stuff. And once that kind of stuff becomes more mainstream, we're going to start seeing a demand for AI in general. And that's why you're starting to see things like SingularityNet do well, but also Fetch AI as well, which is another fantastic project, which is currently actually on a slightly higher market cap than that of SingularityNet. And you might think, why have we chosen SingularityNet over something like Fetch AI? And I really like both of them, which is why we're there with both of them, right? We're invested in both. SingularityNet has something that Fetch AI just doesn't. And Fetch AI generally has something interesting to us that SingularityNet doesn't. So both are interesting parties. At some point, we will have to make the decision, Chris, as to which one of those we end up having to drop. But both are fantastic projects, and we are invested in both of them. Both are artificial intelligence. One is actually UK based, one is not, but fantastic nonetheless. And I think, as we move into that 2025, 2030 era, we're going to start seeing a huge demand and huge spike for the usage of artificial intelligence. And that marketplace that SingularityNet is aiming to create is going to be absolutely crucial to that. So 2021, I think, is going to be a phenomenal year for price. But I think there's a long-term play here with SingularityNet that you might want to just continue to dollar cost average your way into this thing over the bear market and really accumulate hard for what's going to come later down the line. But I am super bullish, Chris, on SingularityNet. Anything you would like to add?
Only that you've already mentioned it, but we're both buying in more AGI weekly. cost averaging in. And yeah, it's one of those. I don't think it's quite got away from us, but we would have, if we had invested earlier, we would have had a much better position in AGI. But we talk about this all the time on the channel. Sometimes it's just not an opportunity, and timing is everything, right? We're in 26 projects at the moment, so that's a lot of projects to be in, and we need to reduce the number of projects we're in, and that's been on our minds for a while now, isn't it, Nick? But AGI is one of those that is staying in.
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind this one is an absolute beast. It's definitely not going to be leaving the portfolio anytime soon. So guys, there you have it. This project has seen us with significant gains so far, but yet there's nothing in comparison to what is still left on the table when it comes to AGI. And that is one of the main reasons why we are invested in the project, but also the future of this project is absolutely massive. And therefore we do, just as Chris was saying there, dollar cost average in. Every week we are purchasing up more and more AGI tokens. And I cannot wait for that integration with Cardano. I think that's going to be a huge milestone for both projects, both Cardano having access to that artificial intelligence, but also for 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓𝗔𝗡𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗡 to be able to take advantage of that superior technology. So I think that's going to be fantastic. And guys, hopefully you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, then do go ahead and hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you want to know about these hidden gems and learn about those new cryptocurrencies, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're going to be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free and you'll stay well informed, so why not? And with that said, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.